Guys, before we start this video, see those two decals in the back, my Instagram and my YouTube? If those get to both 10,000 subscribers and followers on the last before the summer's over, so in September, the last day of summer, I will be doing a giveaway on the channel and the Instagram page for you all. Also though, if we hit 10,000 before that date, my girlfriend and my buddies on Trucks and War, Colin and Hunter, will wax my legs. That's right. That's the deal we made. So if you want to see me in excruciating pain and make an idiot of myself and possibly enter for a giveaway I'm going to do, so subscribe to my YouTube channel and subscribe and follow Trucks and War on Instagram. Get them both to 10,000. Thanks, guys. How's it going today, guys? Trucks and Water here, and I kind of have a special video because when this video goes live, Ashley will have probably reached 250,000 miles on her. That's right. She's getting up there in age. Sorry. Whew. I gotta compose myself. She's getting older. She's been through a lot. We've been through a lot. But in this video, I'm gonna be talking about what's it like owning a 1996 Chevy K1500 Silverado Z71 5.7 liter 350 small block truck at 250,000 miles. So going up to it, and the lessons I've learned and what I want to give to you all. Before we go in depth with this video though, I do want to make this disclaimer, because every time I make these videos, some of y'all little trolls in the comments like have to get involved and think you're a YouTube know-it-all. This is my opinion on my truck. This is what I've dealt with on my truck. Each truck is different. Get that through your all's heads, some of you all. Apparently, you all are more hard-headed than I am, which is pretty bad to say. So we're gonna go in depth, top to bottom, exterior, interior, engine, bed. But before we start that, I want to go over my setup real quick on this truck. As you can see, it's clearly not stock. So first things first, it is on a 2-inch leveling kit by Rough Country with the keys cranked up only 1.25 inches from stock ride height. Steering stabilizer in the front, Procom 3000 series shock around 2 to 3 inch bigger shocks in stock. The wheel setup is a 20 by 12 -44 offset KMC XD series grenade with the milled accents, wrapped in Nitto 420 S's 305 by 50 by 20. The front end is a whole custom front end, smooth bumper with 30-inch Rough Country X5 series light bar flood and spotlight combo. All the front lighting is last fit auto LED lighting, the amber lights and the headlights, high beam and low beam. The whole front end is coated in Body Line X. No, it's not Plasti Dip or anything like this. Is Body Lines from Lines in Knoxville. Highly recommend it. Love this stuff. It's very easy to clean. Moving on, we got a bullet and 50 cal bullet antenna with boosted auto parts, 2015 style tow mirrors for the truck with amber running in directionals, high output reverse lights, and all fully functioning electric mirror adjustment, except for the bottom ones, of course. Moving on back, we've got a tonneau cover with a toolbox underneath this. It's inside the bed. It's a 48-inch, I believe, if I remember correctly, and a 5th spare tire of one of these. Blacked out third brake light, and coming soon is redoing the whole rear end, new taillights and new bumper. So make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. Interior wise, we'll go over that real quick on what's been done in the interior. Wow, of course I would lock it. Interior wise, all I got is a Pioneer radio. I mean, nothing else custom except for a Walmart special extra center console. But we'll go over the interior when we get to the interior part. Other than that, guys, pretty much a bone stock truck, performance wise, transmission wise, rear end, all that. Nothing done to that. Yeah, exhaust is bone stock also. So we'll start out with the exterior of the truck. And I'll make this disclaimer now. I've owned this truck since 159,000 miles. I'm the third owner. This truck has literally never been treated as a truck in its life. It has never seen a mud hole, never been really off-roaded unless you count a gravel road and a dirt road that you had to go down. It's seen snow. The full drive, legitimately been in full drive to get me unstuck, I can count on one hand. Other than that, it's been grandpa owned. The original owner wasn't like an 80-year-old man. Bought it brand new from Lafayette, Georgia at the Oldsmobile Chevy dealership. I actually custom ordered from Chevy. Then it was sold to a dealership in Chattanooga, which then sold to my dad's friend from work. And then I bought it back in 2015 after I graduated high school. So other than that, it's never been treated as a truck. So when I go over some of this stuff, you gotta remember it's been garage kept, except until I owned it. Washed every weekend, waxed every weekend, never been treated as a truck. Most of these trucks you will find, they're beat to dog crap, or you know, whatever. Rarely do you find an OEM. This is original paint. It is dirty right now because it just rained, unfortunately, when I drove here, so it's gonna be a little bit dirty. But paint has never ever been touched on this truck. There is some blemishes, and I'll point them out. I'm not gonna hide anything from you all, but that's the get up with this truck. And trust me, it has fair share of issues. But we'll go over the mechanical side here in a little bit. Body-wise, other than door dings and this dent done by something or someone before I even bought the truck, the body-wise is very, very clean on this truck. But it does have some of its issues. Up and around the chrome around the fenders, the clear is peeling. Underneath the trim work is peeling right here. The trim work is starting to fade and crack and stuff like that, because like I said, it's from 1996. Over here it's on the worst side. You'll see it right here. The plastic's completely come off. That's done. And unfortunately, I do have the typical Chevy rocker or side panel issue right here. As you can see, I got some bubbles in the paint where rust is starting to come through. They're still hard though, so I don't know if it's fully through just underneath the paint. I did pull the pan inside the cab, that's like the door pocket pan right here in the back, and it's nothing, it's like spotless in here, so it's just up underneath here. See, like it's solid as a rock. Other than that, no frame rust, no bed rust that I know of. I can't find any. No rocker rust at all. I mean, other than that little spot right there, which is very typical on these extended cabs. I found out that they rust right there for some reason. Other than that, the bodywork's in pretty good shape. I also got some scratch in the paint, but that was, I think, my own doing right there. I hit something maybe. The chrome, that's gonna get replaced anyways. This thing is a pain in the butt to keep nice, and they do make another one of these, but I think on LMC truck they're $250. That's coming off the truck anyways. The roof is in very good shape, no clear peeling off the roof, so that's really good. Typical scratches, little small scratches here and there with the it does have, you know, some door dings from people that can't freaking pay attention in parking lots apparently. I don't know the deal. But body-wise, it's been taken very good shape. And also, you know, windshield wipers, you know, they're kind of peeling, but I can get those replaced or repaint them or something. But body-wise on this truck, if you're lucky to find a grandpa-owned one of these trucks, like garage kept, whole 9 yards, buy it. These things are going up in market value every single day. A lot of people are starting to build these OBS Chevrolets because it has a mix of both worlds. You got more of the classic square body look with the more modern features, and I'll show you that all here in a little bit. But so yeah, body wise it's in pretty good shape. I'm gonna get everything paint corrected, paint restored, all the trim molding's gonna be taken off the truck, whole 9 yards. But at 250,000 miles, it's looking pretty good if you take care of it. That's the key word, guys. Take care of these trucks and they'll take care of you. So we'll move on to the interior before we get to mechanical. I've got the 2 captain's chairs in the truck with the center console. The only issue with the interior is a small dash crack right here. That's had happened after I took off the bezel to put my aftermarket radio in. I did have to replace the door hinge hinges on the driver's side. Probably gonna have to do those in the next year or so, more than likely. This is the year before they do that kind of the bubble console right there. The glove box, the bubble glove box, what I call it. So it's got like a tray, you can hold stuff in it. This is the year before the third door, so you have to move the seats forward to get in the back seat. But the back seat is like pretty much in perfect condition. There's like nothing wrong with it. Driver's seat has no rips and got a little bit of wear on it, but nothing too bad whatsoever. I mean, for a 96 with 250,000 miles on it, that's not bad at all. Still works. All the adjustments still work. You can see. And lumbar even works still, which is a fantastic feature. Love these seats. They're absolutely amazingly comfortable. You can pretty like freaking recliners pretty much, and I love them. They are aftermarket floor mats. I got WeatherTech, so I'm gonna have to clean them. But other than that, guys, just like the exterior, if you take care of it, it'll take care of you. I clean this thing probably. The exterior I try to clean once a week. Interior every 2 weeks I clean it. Oh, and the little tab that locks this in place right here broke off, but again, it's not a big deal. I don't really care about that. But other than that, it's like a stupid clean interior on this truck. Like I said, if you take care of it, it takes care of you. So other than that though, well, since I'm on the topic of interior and exterior, the window tint I forgot to mention is 5% all the way around, with a 35 on the windshield and a 5% brow. So yeah, so let's move on though to the mechanical side of this truck. So knock on truck, never had an issue out of the rear end. It is a 342 rear end with the locker in it, so if you do a burnout or you do get in a situation, it will lock both wheels in and all that stuff. Transmission, again, knock on truck, original transmission in this truck as far as I know, with 249,000 miles on it. This did come with the full tow package, big trans cooler in it, whole 9 yards, but only 342 rear end gearing. So it can't tow very well at all. But at 80 miles an hour, I'm barely turning over 2,000 RPMs, like 2,050 RPMs pretty much. Whereas most trucks, I met a guy down in Daytona truck meet this year, got a similar truck as mine, but has 373s in his rear, and at 80 miles an hour, he's almost at 3,000 RPMs. So this truck will average about, road tripping with the setup on it, about 16.5 to 17.5 miles per gallon. Around town in my daily driving, I'm averaging about 14.5, 15, because it's that initial get up and go that takes a lot longer than just hitting cruise and just letting it cruise. I run 87 octane in it, always have. I did have the typical fuel pump issue at 190,000 miles, and my shop said, and we can't prove it 100%, but they say it looked like the OEM fuel pump, and that thing lasts to 190,000 miles. Most of them, they said, from what I read on forums and stuff online, go bad about 125 to 150. This lasts to 190,000 miles on it, so I got lucky with that one. Now the big main issue. Well, there's two of them. One, if you ever have an electrical problem with this truck, like I've had my headlights start flashing, like my low beams will just start flickering all of a sudden, and you can't figure out why, and you replace the bulbs and everything. 9 times out of 10 on this truck, it's a loose ground wire, and I'm not kidding on that. Every electrical issue I've ever had on this truck, again, knock on truck, every electrical issue I've ever had on this truck has been a ground wire. Actually, there's probably 3 issues. Second issue, these trucks, and I don't know if it's just my truck, but I've talked to a bunch of OBS owners. These trucks literally eat brakes. They're like the tiniest damn brakes on a truck I've ever seen, and they're drums in the rear. I am doing the disc conversion in the rear with the big disc up front here very shortly. It's about $1,500 in parts because I have to do the bigger brake booster to handle the bigger brakes in the back and stuff. Slotted disc rotors in the front with normal discs in the back, I think I'm going with. That especially going to help me when I do lift this truck higher and put bigger wheels and tires on it. But the main issue I have with this truck, and this is just probably, is this is not the OEM motor. Unfortunately, back in November of 2018, I had a weird noise coming from the motor. I thought it was a harmonic balancer. Everyone's pointing at the harmonic balancer. Come to find out, the bottom end literally ate itself. The thruster bearings went out, caused all 8 pistons to slap themselves, and literally grenaded my engine pretty much. When I loaded this up on the trailer to take it to the shop to get the motor replaced, it sounded like a 12-valve Cummins. That's no joke. It was horrible. I've had 3 mechanics look at it, and when the Chevy specialist that does crate motor swaps in vehicles over at the Chevy dealership out in Alcoa, again, huge shout out to you guys if you watch the videos. He even looked at the old motor. He can't figure out why I did it. My maintenance record is impeccable. Every 3,000 miles an oil change. I can count on one hand how many times I read that motor past 3,000 RPMs. I mean, I don't beat on my vehicles whatsoever. So they couldn't figure out why it did it, but it did. I did get a Reman GM 350 small block, which or Chevrolet, whatever, GM Chevrolet. What it is the block itself is not brand new. It's an old block they brought back to the factory, re-honed, scanned it, x-rayed it, made sure there's no cracks or anything in it, but everything else internally is brand new. The only thing that's old on this truck is my AC condenser, my alternator, my AC lines, and everything that was still in good condition. They reused my airbox, and they cleaned out the throttle body and replaced some internal parts on that, but reused mainly the throttle body. Everything else on this engine's brand spanking new. They tuned and tested it. They tuned it to my trans. They flushed all the lines even in the trans, looked at the trans before they even put the motor in it. Flushed out the lines in the trans. Flushed out every hose and lines beneath the hood. Tuned the engine to my trans. Tuned the trans to the engine. To the engine and trans to the ECM. I mean, they went through the whole truck in about 2.5 days and drove it for almost like 80 to 100 miles before they gave it back to me. So again, huge shout out to you all. But that was the main expense of this truck, was the brand new engine that sits underneath right now. I love it. I love having the power back. It is freaking awesome. But it's also kind of sad that I can't say it's a numbers matching truck. But with the way I'm building this truck, you know, it's not going to be an OEM stupid clean, like as the spec truck. So it was cheaper to go that route than it was if I just went to rebuild the engine, because I'm not a good enough mechanic to rebuild an engine, make sure it's 100% sound. So this was the best option for me, and I got a 3-year 100,000 mile warranty for any Chevy dealership in the country. If I drive this truck out of California and something happens to the motor, that's not my fault. They have to replace it or fix it or whatever the cause is. Like, again, knock on the truck. But other than that, the suspension wise, everything's good. You do eat ball joints in these trucks, especially when you run aftermarket wheels and tires. That's just kind of nature of the IFS systems. But it's a very, very smooth riding truck. Now, is it like a brand new truck? No. But for the year of these trucks, it's a very, very smooth riding truck, and I love the way it is. So now another thing is these trucks are freaking bulletproof. I'm talking, these trucks will get you home. Except for the fuel pump issue, even with the bad motor, it always got me home, period. I remember, I live in East Tennessee, if you're new to the vlogs, or new to the channel, and about a couple years ago, I was going to my college class, and all of a sudden, it was a freak snowstorm. Like, we get some snow here and there, but this was a freak 8 a.m. snowstorm that dumped 6 to 8 inches in like 30 minutes. And that's like a freak thing for East Tennessee. All the interstates were shut down, and I was already halfway to my college class. I was like, I'm gonna push on and try to get there. Well, I'm on this parkway, and it's shut down. No one can move, the snow's dumping. So this was when I was on stock wheels and tires with a no leveling kit. It was basically a bone stock truck at the time. I put this thing in 4 high, and this is the push button 4-wheel drive system. We'll go over that here in a second. Put it in 4 high, sent it through the snow, and was on a back road pushing snow and plowing my own snow. It never slipped. I never lost confidence in this truck. This 4-wheel drive system in these trucks is fantastic in my opinion. It gives you the uttermost confidence. You got, you know, two 2-wheel drive, 4 high and 4 low, and some of the newer models, I think it's the 97 or 98 of these trucks, they have the 4-wheel auto options, which I wish I had on this truck, but I don't. So yeah, like, these 4-wheel drive systems are awesome, but the only downfall about these 4-wheel drive systems is there's an actuator right in the front differential, or somewhere. Oh, okay, yeah, here it is. Right up in there, there's an actuator that when you press your 4-wheel drive system in, it shoots a piston into the front differential that locks in your 4-wheel drive. That can go out. You'll get a blinking light that will never go away, and that's 9 times out of 10 your indication that your 4-wheel drive system, that actuator's gone bad. Especially if you don't use it a lot or anything like that, it can go bad. It's literally unplug, unscrew, screw a new one in, plug it back up, but it's a $110 part at O'Reilly's. Yeah, it's terrible. But another little issue I had on this truck. Other than that though, guys, these trucks are awesome. If it's your first time truck, I highly recommend one. If you can find one that's not been beaten, not been abused, basically find one grandpa owned. I mean, I had a stack of receipts this thick when I first bought it from my dad's buddy, because he kept awesome maintenance records, and I do the same thing with this truck. I have a receipt list now about that thick in my room from all the stuff that's pretty much been done to this truck. Like I said, awesome truck, fantastic. So yeah, for 250,000 miles, I cannot complain about this truck. It's made 3 trips to Florida, over 10 trips to like Georgia alone, 3 or 4 trips to Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina, all over the Southeast is pretty much gone. And like, I drove in Daytona this year probably almost 2,000 miles in 5 to 6 days. Never skipped a beat. Love it to death. So at 250,000 miles, I highly recommend these trucks. Even though I did have the engine issue, I put a brand new engine in it. It was just mechanical failure at that point. No one else could figure it out. And but yeah, if you have the chance to buy one of these trucks, I highly recommend it, guys. But other than that, I know this is kind of a lengthy video, but if you stuck around to the very end, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Join the Trucks and Water family. We're constantly growing and changing and trying new and better things. I hope you all have a great day, and remember, never give up on your dreams.